the other way. Great. Okay. Noob.
Anyone have any idea what this live might be about? I don't know.
I do.
What?
It's about letting people know to subscribe to Sprezzatura Cane Corso because Melina is going to be having her puppies soon. And it's about announcing that I have 2 puppy spots available on Velocity's litter. And we had 1 opening on the Preacher and Aria litter. Although that's not technically what it's about, it's a nice little added bonus. It's really not about anything, which is why it's impromptu.
Melina's not in labor at this very second.
Nope. But she will be soon. Her temperature already dropped. She's over there playing games.
We're eating strawberries and bananas. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can show y'all the baby in the back. So, there's Preacher and my Morgan. Where's Sunny?
Probably in the floorboard.
Somebody said that red is popping even in the dark, Rachel.
Aw, thank you.
They're getting stuck in my teeth right now.
Oh yeah.
They're just building up right there.
Yeah. You just... Who would have thought? Who would have thought that banana would be sweeter than a strawberry? It definitely is.
Obviously.
Obviously.
You always eat strawberries before bananas.
No, I always eat my banana before my strawberry or at the same time. I can't believe you went live in that orientation. You can't. It's locked now. It's your fault.
Sorry, I'm making you guys dizzy at this point. Strawberries are so sour.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about fruit like this, freeze-dried fruit, but I love it. So good.
Yes, we are keeping the Formentino.
Yeah, the Formentino meal. I would say we're like 99% certain that's the one we're gonna keep. But
I'm certain.
girl, can you like chill?
I'm trying to figure out where I need to put it.
Well, if you would have done it the right orientation, it wouldn't be a problem.
Where can I change the orientation?
You can't. It's locked. It's what it says.
Hold on. Edit.
You can't restart it either.
Why not? I guess not.
So anyway, I don't think that we have fully explored all that freeze-drying fruit has to offer either. Or any other food for that matter.
You can crush up, you can crush up freeze-dried strawberries and put them in macarons. I've done it before. Will R&R be tomorrow while Melina is in labor?
It really depends on what's going on. Reese is really tired.
She hasn't gotten sleep.
She's been staying up at night because Melina was really acting like she was going to go into labor, and then she didn't. And so, so we'll have to wait and see.
Somebody said, Savannah, did you? Can you ask your mom if? Hold on. She meant to say 2 spots available on Velocity's litter, or did she mean Trinity's?
2 spots available on Velocity's litter. That means the puppies that we have available right now.
They just got their ears done.
Yeah. Basically, the person that had one of the spots on the litter is the person who took Koa, and then the other person, it wasn't a good time for them because they had to leave the country for work, and so that opened up 2 spots. And then another person who's on the Preacher Aria breeding, they had, I guess, something happened with their house, like some major tragedy, and they had to spend a bunch of money on that, and they were going to wait to get a puppy till later when things settle down. So that's kind of where we're at on that.
Why don't we have any sugar in them?
What?
The drinks.
Because people don't like calories, and sugar has calories.
But coffee is calories.
Not really, not by itself, not black coffee. See how it says at the bottom, 100 calories? They're bragging.
110 calories.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about freeze-dried fruit is
It gets stuck in your teeth.
Stuck to your teeth, yeah. Big truck.
That's all you see in Texas.
Nothing compared to the ones you see in Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
Coffee, foamy milk, and lime.
Pay attention to the comment section.
There's nothing going on in it.
I see comments.
Comments. How's Pascal?
He's really good. I really like the lids they put on this. It has these plastic lids on it. I don't know if it served a purpose.
But you like it?
It's like gentle on your lips. Oh my god. There's so much of that freeze-dried fruit on my teeth. It's not even funny. That's the only thing that sucks. The only thing that sucks about it. Everything else is wonderful.
Rachel, what do you think of Rottweilers? We usually don't answer breed questions.
I like Rottweilers.
Right there. You don't like that one?
Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I suppose it depends on the swig I get. But I like Rottweilers a lot, actually. I don't know. I had one growing up named Cowboy. I've known quite a few that I like, but I just don't like them enough to one to my house whenever I have so many Corso and stuff.
Don't start asking us a bunch of questions about what kind of dogs we like. Please. They get excessive.
Clearly, Savannah doesn't like breed questions.
Why don't you answer breed questions? Just curious. They get excessive.
I answer them.
Good night, Terry.
Savannah doesn't answer them. Good night, Terry. Sometimes people, sometimes it does get a little excessive, and then also sometimes if I haven't owned the breed, it's kind of.
And then there's some people that are like, what do you think of this? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And they just ask like a million times.
Well, Savannah's not the best mood, is she?
Just saying. People have been blocked for that. Not by me, but they have. Or have been put on timeout. Yes, they have. Connor just did.
Oh, okay. Well, I have done it. These are the best.
How's the coochie man today? The coochie man is at home and he's doing great.
Who's the Gucci man?
Batista.
Oh.
Reset this. Mom doesn't keep up with the coochie man.
I haven't even seen the video yet. I'm not in the know yet.
I literally tried to show it to her and she said no.
You didn't try to show me that one.
I tried to show you the coochie man.
Yeah, but like not the video.
There is not a video. He just has a ton of videos, a compilation of videos about the coochie man.
Yeah, but I'm sure he has like one that went viral.
He's
You
got
didn't
plenty.
Show me that one.
He has plenty that went viral. Ah.
Y'all, Savannah is really argumentative right now. I don't know if y'all can tell. She's in full 15-year-old mode right now. In all of its glory.
Thank you, Galaxy. They said I have a whatever kind of breed that is that likes to walk with his nose to the ground.
What kind of breed is it, Savannah?
It's a Pekingese.
What?
A
Pekingese?
Yeah. What is a good way to keep his head up?
Collar placement.
What if I can like?
You want to make sure that you have your.
I can't.
You want to make sure that you have your leash or the collar right up here at the top of the neck, and then you don't. Good Lord, girl!
Oh,
It's not gonna stay there, child.
I know. I'm not trying to. Oh no. Ah.
And then you just kind of keep their head from going down. There's a couple different ways, or you can also do like you can use. I mean, Pekingese is pretty small, but they do have chain link collars. But you can do just a slight little ching, like the sound of it. You kind of pull up on it and ching whenever they put their head down, and you can say head up, and just keep them moving, keep them walking, keep them moving.
Batista's new show name is Coochie Man. He comes out in the show ring, Coochie Man. Sends a tempo's Coochie Man.
That would be so inappropriate. I would get like kicked out of the ring. If you don't mind unzooming from me, that would be great. Thank you. It's like not okay.
Thank you, Tony B.
Y'all pray for me right now because this child is about to fucking drive me. Yep, see, there I go. There I go. I apologize. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Will the martingale collars be ready to be sold at the end of the year?
We are at the last stages of this whole thing. Unfortunately, we have the website built, but the logo has been really, really hard. And
Rachel cussed, time to pray.
Exactly. We went to a couple different people and they weren't able to get it down, so I contacted another guy and we're hoping that this is going to be the one. He's working on some mock-ups right now, so that's what's taking so long. It's really annoying, and I apologize for the delay, but that's just kind of where we're at. Who saw that Angela Johnson? I'll cut you in the name of the Lord. In the name of Jesus.
Will we get a kennel tour when you move?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'll be wanting to show that off. Absolutely. Ooh, that's bitter.
I told you.
Woo! Woohoo! Why does it taste so chalky?
Because it says chocolate on it.
No, it's like chalk. Like as in C-H-A-L-K, chalky.
So not like CHOKLATE.
No.
If I even spelled that right.
It's like chalky. Like
Yes,
clay.
we are on our way home.
The problem is that the Starbucks gives me like upset stomach and headaches, and so I was trying a new coffee drink. I guess the truth of the matter is that nobody has good cold coffee at a convenience store. Remind me not to smile.
Why?
Because I have like fruit in my teeth.
I don't know what's in my teeth.
Bound to make myself look like a hillbilly.
It's very light. You can't even see it.
Yeah.
Do you believe treat training is effective?
It is for some things. I use treat training sometimes. Just depends on what it is.
To all the people that are saying that Texas is better, because people in the comments are like, don't leave Rachel, you're whack. Don't leave Texas. Texas is better, blah, blah, blah.
I used to think Texas was better. And there are some things about Texas that are better, but
Like HEB.
I tell you what, man, Texas ain't Texas anymore, man. There's so many people that have moved here. You know, so many Texans have actually moved out of Texas lately because of all of the people that are moving here.
Apparently it's one of the most popular places to live in the United States right now.
It is not the Texas that I remember growing up in. And so I cannot agree with that. And all the great things that were great about Texas, like, you know, boating and camping and all the swimming and blah, blah, blah. There's so many people here, and we have so few of those spots that they're overcrowded, and it's just no fun. Oh, excuse me, can't do anything anyway. So, kind of just what it is. I'll tell you what, these puppies are the loudest litter of puppies I've ever taken.
They're back there in their crates.
Yeah.
They've got crates.
And it's not because of the cropping, because they can't actually feel anything right now.
They're all just like...
Yeah, they all have medication in them, but they cried worse than this on the way here, and they did not stop at all. And
Jacqueline Lee...
and it's a 3-hour drive, and by the end of it, like when we were getting there, I was literally close to pulling my hair out.
Thank you, Jacqueline Lee. And they said, go ahead and smile. We love you, fruit in your teeth and all.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, normally they're asleep by now. The medication is so strong they typically pass out, but these are a particularly strong bunch of puppies. So anyway,
folks from Texas, Georgia, Florida, and Ohio moving to NC. Where's that?
North Carolina.
Virginia is an interesting state. Do you mean that in a bad or a good way?
There's a policeman. Okay. Yeah, it's just like I said, and honestly, like, because like the whole I don't know, the whole world is getting hotter, But I do know that the whole nation has been getting hotter. The whole nation is in a heat wave right now. And it's a dose of it in. And so whenever it's hotter in the nation, you can bet your butt it's going to be hotter in Texas. Like, it's already hot here, and so it's even worse here. And so I just can't take it. I cannot take the heat anymore.
Quit it, babies!
I'm telling you, man, these puppies are just out of control.
Babies!
Out of control.
Babies!
Yeah.
I ain't never been to Virginia.
I've been to Virginia, but not for very long.
We need to go this summer or something.
I fell in love with Tennessee. That's where I really wanted to be. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, it's just the economy. Unless you're living like in the city, the economy just really isn't there.
Oh, they wanted to know, are you happy with the length of the crop?
I don't know. I haven't seen them yet. I never know.
Because they tape them. So
yeah, they tape them up, so I never know what they're gonna look like.
I will say we could see how long blondies were last time they were.
Yeah, I never know what they're gonna look like until they come. Until we take the tape off. I usually take the tape off in about 3 days, and then I let them kind of just dry naturally.
We can't reveal the cone heads because they are back there.
That's why they're crying, because they're actually in crates right now, which they do not like nor appreciate.
I wonder if I can show it. They're kind of like in there, you know?
Yeah, they've never been in crates before.
You can kind of see it, but they are back there, and they're crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me show you out. Preacher, come here. Preacher, up, preacher, up, preacher, come here. Dude, good boy.
Oh man, don't be stepping on stuff.
Good boy. Preacher, say hi.
Squishy face boy. Squishy face boy. Squishy, squishy. Oh, squishy, squishy.
Have a kiss? No kiss? Okay.
He's like, no. Why would I give you a kiss?
Thank you, Sir Z. Sorry, I can't read that very well.
Is it Sergio?
Steesley. I just moved from 512 from NYC. Sorry, I'm contributing to you leaving. I mean, I'm sure it's not you.
Yeah, it's not you. It was you are new. It was before that I decided to leave. So it's just not. And in my opinion, it's not a place that you would want to raise a family. My opinion only. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the family-oriented and slowed down pace of Virginia. So
I wonder if I need to go turn off that light back there.
I would.
Oh, yeah, we're driving and we're kind of on here.
I don't think it's just not going to stop. They didn't stop the whole way here. They're not going to stop now.
I would jump back there, but you guys would probably be like, "Don't jump back there."
Mom is driving. Oh, actually, that's not true. One time was a puppy in Preacher and Cashmere's litter that just would not stop crying. And I'm not talking about like on the way back. I'm talking about on the way there. Just being in the crate. And sometimes you just have some that are like that. They are like, they don't give up, man. They don't give up. Which is a commendable trait. You know what I mean?
Look at Suki. Look at her right here on the thing, the screen. Suki Sue. Hi, baby. Apparently it's spelled S-O-O-K-I-E. I've always spelled it S-U-K-I-E. Or, no, S-U-K-I. Suki. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss, kiss. Give me a kiss. Suck, 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 suck. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Sucky. Hi. Give me kisses. Yes, hi.
Dude, you're not even putting it on.
Oh. Give me kisses. Give me a kiss. Hi. Come here, Suki. Come on, baby girl. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come on, baby. Come here. Let's see if I can't, like, maybe. No.
I know where I'm playing.
I need to bring her over. I want to cuddle with her.
Oh my God, you need your hands. You can't really cuddle right now.
I don't need my hands for anything. Come here, Suki.
Girl, I don't know why it is you feel a need to argue with me so much tonight, but you are wearing on my last nerve.
Suki, come here. Suki. Suki, where are you going?
Every time I thank the Lord Jesus that I got my tubes tied and I didn't have no more children. I just thank the Lord above. Say, thank you, Jesus. That I've had enough sense not to have more children.
Thank you for the kisses.
Because my one is about to give me a heart attack.
Oh, I would never.
Mm-hmm.
Suki. That's my mama.
I told Reese today, I said, you know why that your body is ready to have babies when you're young? And it really kicks into overdrive in your 30s. Because you're still slightly stupid at that age. You're not quite mature enough. You're not quite wise enough to realize that having children is not necessarily the best idea.
Well,
I'm not saying
everybody's.
I'm not saying it's not a good idea. Obviously, I don't regret having Savannah. But if we were all as smart as we are now, we might leave it to the people that we think would be better at it. Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like me personally, if I knew what I knew now, I probably wouldn't have had children. Just being honest with you, girl.
I'm 34 and I have one kid, an 8-year-old daughter. I still have baby fever.
Yeah, I had baby fever at 34. I almost got my tubes untied. Almost.
I remember that.
I looked it up. I was like, it hit me hard when I was 34. 34, 35, my body knew. It was like, girl, you better get it in and you ain't gonna get it at all. And I was lucky I had my tubes tied. Because I might have done something stupid. But I didn't. And now I feel free. And I'm happy. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Leave that to the younger crowd. Because it ain't for me. It ain't for me.
Shay says, 2 boys, 10 and 12. I'm 23. No, not 23. I'm 33. My 12-year-old thinks he is 20. Lol.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We love our children. But sometimes, man, sometimes they'll push you to a point where you're like, why did I do this? Why? Well, it's kind of, it is what it is. It is what it is. My mother used to say it's the natural process. That way your children don't stay with you forever.
Somebody said, what is more of a challenge? All of your pups combined or Savannah?
Savannah. I can literally take all my dogs. All of them. Not a problem. But Savannah, because I can control the dogs. You know what I'm saying? I can control them. I can tell them, hey, whatever. They can be reasoned with. They can be controlled. But a teenager cannot be controlled. You can't control them.
Juanita,
you know what I mean?
has 8 kids.
They get to an age where you can't do nothing with them other than roll your eyes into the back of your head and hope they stay there so that you can I'm not here no more.
See, Juanita has 8 kids. 27 years old, 24, 22, 21, 19, 17, 14, and 12. Mama could never.
No. And I've heard it gets easier when you have more kids because they kind of police each other in a way. But, you know what I mean? Like, you might have the older one that's like, hey, you need to listen to mom, or you shouldn't be doing that, or whatever. But I just have the one.
I'm an only child.
And boys, I've heard, are easier because they mind their own business. They want to do their own thing. They don't really want to be messed with. But girls are not like that. Girls are different.
I want all the attention from all my mama. She's not allowed to do anything else.
I pray for all the women out there with little girls.
Reese, that goes out to you.
May God give you the strength.
What's better, having 1 or 2 kids? None.
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that because I only have the one. So, yeah.
So he says, I have a cunning cord, so.
Yeah.
That's all you need in life. Don't get a kid.
Like I said, the dogs are easy, man. They might get stubborn or whatever, but
how would I feel if I get a sibling? I wouldn't.
She wouldn't get a sibling. Medically impossible.
I literally asked her years ago. I was like, Mom, I want a sibling. And she was like, no.
I'm not starting over. Not in this environment of raising children. No.
I have 2 teenage girls, 17 and 16. I cry myself to sleep at night. Lol.
There you
JK.
There you go. It's like you don't hate them. You do love them. But oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. And if you knew that, if you knew what it was going to be, you might just think twice. You know what I'm saying? You might just think twice about it. Like, I don't really know if I'm into self-torture like that. It's just, you got to be young and hormone-filled to go through that. Because I remember...
Somebody says, wait till you get grandbabies.
You know what, though? I look forward to grandbabies. Oddly enough, I do, which is weird, I know. But I just feel like kids hate their parents, not their grandparents. So I'll be like, come over here, little baby.
She's gonna spoil them.
Come talk to me about how bad your mama is. Let me tell you how bad your mama was. Bend your ear. For real. Yeah. Yeah. For real. Let me give you some sugar.
No.
Let me give you some loud toys.
She would too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I was an easy baby for her.
I'll be like, you know what your mother doesn't like? Come here. Let me tell you what your mama don't like. It's payback. It's payback.
I'll just leave him with you.
Did y'all ever see that TikTok where the guy acts like he's like the son calling the mom for food? And she's like, I already made you food, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm going to call grandma. And she's, don't you dare call your grandma. That's how I would be.
Then he goes, Grandma. He starts crying in the phone. She says, I'm going to feed you, baby. I'm going to whoop your mom's butt, too.
Mm-hmm. Don't you worry, baby. I'm going to be over there. But we go get you something to eat, baby.
And Mom would do that, too.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah, are you not feeding them babies?
Mm-hmm. And when she gets mad at him, I tell her, Savannah, now you know you need to not raise your voice. You need to love them babies. You need to have patience. Don't raise your voice at the babies, Savannah. Don't you do that. Don't you raise a hand to them children. Okay? Don't you raise your hand. She's going to be going out of her mind. And I'll be like, now, Savannah. Now,
I'll leave it to the daddy.
Do you remember what you told me? Do you remember? You got to be soft. You got to be sweet. You got to be positive.
I'm going to leave it to the daddy.
Why is they arguing with me? Well, now, Savannah, they're arguing with you because of that negative energy that you've got right now. You got to bring it down, honey. You got to get positive. She's going to hate me. She'll never call me. She could be a therapist for her mother and her children. And I'm just going to be dancing. Karma's a... Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Rachel has it all planned out.
That's what it's going to be.
Positive reinforcement. Mm-mm.
That's what I'm planning my revenge.
And you'll tell those babies, you'll say, call me if she ever touches you.
No, I'm gonna tell them, call CPS. Call them if she ever lays a hand on you. Call them. Call the law. Call 911. Call them.
Crazy Daisy says, I have 2 amazing sons and they're the light of my life.
Yeah. How old are they?
I'm assuming.
How old are they? I used to feel that way about Savannah when she was younger, when she was sweet,
The light of her life.
and she was like, she would never even get a tone with me. She never argued with me. She was just this little ray of sunshine, this beautiful light of my life.
Wow, she said 23 and 30.
And then that's why, because they're older. They're out of her house. Either that or she's in denial.
They're sons, Mom. They're not daughters.
I guess. Maybe she has them rare kids that are just fucking, pardon my French, are just perfect. I get too comfortable with y'all. I cuss a lot. Trying to work on it.
She's gonna get those babies tracking watch and have her as the emergency contact. Yeah, she would. Wow. Juanita says, I started having kids when I was 15 and had 8 of them, but we did marry each other. Well, that's good.
Yeah, that sounds like my grandma. She had children at 15.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
I was thinking somebody else.
No. 15 years old.
I thought you were about to talk about Gigi. I was like, huh?
No. She was like 19, 18, 19, something like that.
But that was normal back then.
Hmm?
That was normal back then, though.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Although I do think having a father, it has a lot to do with it. If you have the father in your life, I think that makes it a lot better. When you are a single mother like I am, that's where it probably gets a lot trickier, because when you're a two-parent household, both people shoulder the burden of raising the children and the responsibility in an ideal situation, mind you. But when it's a single parent, you don't. And so, pardon me. So that probably is why I'm a lot more stressed out, because I'm basically doing the job of 2 people instead of 1 person.
I have a toddler and a 5-month-old Corso. I have no privacy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Thank you, Shay.
It's so crazy, because when babies are young, you think to yourself that it's going to get easier when they grow up and you can like talk to them. You keep thinking as soon as you can talk to them and rationalize with them, it'll get better. But that's not true. What ends up happening is that they end up having opinions. It's not just automatic that they're going to listen to you. You know?
Sarson said, I think with a lot of men, you just end up raising 2 kids.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I will say for the longest time, Savannah was actually really helpful. And, like, she used to actually like doing dishes. And I didn't ask her to do it. She just liked, I think she thought it was fun to just kind of help out. And then as she got older and she realized that that's actually, like, work. And didn't want to do it. So now she's the type to put, if I ask her to do some dishes, she will pretend to do them and stick dirty dishes in the cupboards. And I have to pull them out and be like, okay, what's going on here? But when she was younger, so I guess you do get these like little honeymoon periods. But my favorite, don't do that, you're waking them up. But my favorite point of parenting was when she was an infant and all she wanted to do was eat, sleep, and poop. And she would do these cute little smiles, these angelic smiles and little laughs. And they're just so freaking adorable. And you can, you know, feed them new little tastes of things. Like the first time, you know, you trick them and you hand them a lemon. And babies, they stick everything in their mouth right away. So, little things like that were cute, you know. Even as a toddler, she was fine. You know what I mean? I used to love dressing her up in the cute little outfits because she was so cute. And their big, fat, chubby, soft cheeks.
Do you still look at her like your little baby sometimes?
I do, but then she looks at me with disdain and anger because she's apparently not my baby anymore.
Earlier, whenever the doctors are coming out, because my mom accidentally parked like in the wrong spot in front of the door, like not fully, but like we just couldn't park there. And my mom was inside waiting for puppies, and I was sitting in the car, and this woman is standing right outside the window, and I think it's mom. And so me and mom kind of do these like facial expressions and stuff to each other. So I turn and I go, like this. And the lady's looking at me. She's like, "Hi." I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
We do our facial expressions and our accents. Sometimes I'll come in the house, I'll be like, "Hello, Mom." She'll go, "Hello."
Yeah, we do goof around a lot.
And we sing.
We definitely do.
Wow. 4 grandkids at 42. That's pretty cool. 3-year-old, 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old and a newborn.
Yeah. And the cool thing about being a grandma is it's like you get to do all the positive stuff. Like you get to love on them when you want to. But when you don't want to be the parent, which you're not as a grandparent, you just get to hand them back over. Be like, okay, I'm done. Here you go. Come pick them up. And that's like the best part. You know what I mean? And there's no guilt in it. You don't have to feel bad. Nothing. You know what I mean? You get to love them, and you get to spoil them, and you get to give them, and you get to get all that. And then as soon as it gets where they're in a bad mood or whatever it is, here you go, mama. Come pick up your baby. It's perfect. It's all the good and none of the bad.
Except for whenever I call you, whenever they are a teenager, I'm going to be like, "Mom!
Yeah, good luck with that.
Mom! Mom!"
Be like, sweetheart, I am out antique shopping. I cannot help you right now.
Antique shopping? You are not an antique shopper. Thank
Who knows
you.
what I will be doing when I'm old.
Thank you, Michaela. They said, "What breed would you like but no Corso?"
What breed would I like if I couldn't have a Corso?
I don't know. It just said, "What breed would you like but no Corso?"
If I didn't have a Corso, if I couldn't have a Corso, I would have... So that's a tricky one for me because I don't like just having one dog. I like to have multiple dogs. And I like Staffordshire Bull Terriers, but I don't know how I would feel about having a bunch of them because the energy level is going to get high, and I find that I don't have the energy to deal with that anymore. And I've always liked Salukis, so maybe I would try to finally have Salukis.
Okay, there we go. I fixed my seat.
Because I've always liked Saluki dogs.
Salukis. You guys, what dog should I show? I'm thinking about showing dogs.
Ever since I was a kid. Yeah, she doesn't want to show Corso.
Lol, my mom would feed my son dessert before dinner, and she didn't do it for me nor my brother.
Yes, exactly. Exactamundo.
Mom used to make me sit at the table, and I wasn't allowed to get up until I finished my salad. I used to hate salad, too. I dreaded salad nights.
Dude, you used to eat your vegetables, don't lie.
Not my salads, no.
I tricked her, y'all. I told Savannah, because Savannah always wanted to be really tall. And I told her, I said, if you want to get tall, you have to eat your vegetables. And so she would gladly eat her vegetables because she wanted to be tall. And I'm telling you,
I remember hating salad.
I didn't have an issue out of her eating her vegetables. The only thing she would not eat was mushrooms.
And carrots.
And carrots.
I hate carrots. They make me throw up.
Yeah, she doesn't like carrots, and she didn't like mushrooms. And one time I tricked her. I made mushrooms like so good that like there was no way she wasn't gonna eat them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she still threw them up. So then I was
Funny
like,
thing is though, is I did grow really fast.
yeah.
So the lie was in, like the trick was in my head, and I believed it because I was growing really fast. Because somebody asked Savannah, "How tall are you?" I'm the tallest woman in our family. I'm 5'4.5".
I'm 5'4.5" too.
Okay, well then I'm taller than you, so I'm probably like 5'5".
You're not taller than me yet.
Yes, I am. We all knew this.
No, you haven't
Yes.
talked to me yet.
Yes, I am. We admitted this a few days ago.
No.
Also,
had the big shoes
Michaela asks, what's your opinion on boxers?
I've never liked boxers. I've never owned one, but I never liked the look of them. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like their face.
So we said, make sure you put that half on it.
And I especially didn't like the way they looked as they got older. And so, yeah.
Now there's a bunch of people hating on boxers in the comments. Boxers are ugly. Blah, 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 blah. It's hard.
I'm just, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fan of boxers. And in fact, before I knew about like the Corso, like I went through that same thing that a lot of people do when they first get into it, where they think, because like the boxer is the only dog that really looks like a boxer in the States. There's nothing else that looks like a boxer. And so when you see hyper-type Corso, they will look like a boxer to you because the similarities are just so stark, and it's the only thing to compare it to. And so I was like really against those dogs, and I remember arguing with one of my mentors about how
they want you to sing, by the way.
about how I hated boxers and I didn't want my dogs to look like boxers and blah blah blah. And he kept telling me, he said, Rachel, he said, if you keep breeding those long muzzle dogs together, your muzzles are gonna run away from you. He said they're gonna get way too long and way too pointy, and you're gonna lose your breed type. And I thought I knew better than him because I have a tendency to be that way. And
Where would I get it from?
and sure enough, I got Blondie. And it's just true. It's just very true. You need balance. So you have to have all different types of heads, because the Corso head specifically can't be maintained by breeding one type of head. You just can't do it. And so it'll go like in Europe, they have good heads, and then they have extreme to the hyper type head. And then in America, they have good heads and they have extreme to the other side, which I would also, I mean, I can't call it hyper type because most people don't see it that way. It's as far as the Europeans, that's not the terminology for it, but I see it that way because it's basically the same thing, just a different set of features. So it's an extremely long muzzle, very tapered and pointy. It's just not the correct head type either. It's equally as bad.
They really want you to sing the
boxer type.
Velocity song.
Velocity! What's wrong with you?
I always thought it was with you. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Melina has a boxer shape.
No, not at all. Melina, no, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. The problem is that the Corso itself it does kind of have a similar, not extremely similar, but a slightly similar head to, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's similar to a boxer because I don't think that I think in certain light it can kind of look that way. You have to really be looking for it. You know what I mean? It's like saying that an American Bulldog looks like a pit bull or looks like a bulldog. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, do they have some features that are similar? Yeah. But to say that they look exactly alike or whatever, no, not really.
What dog in your program has the best head?
So you would need to know the standard. You would need to know what the breed is supposed to look like to know that. Whenever I went to Europe and I showed them my dogs, the head that everybody felt was the best was Velocities and Belladonnas. They had the most type. And by type, we mean breed type, where it looks like, the breed. So, It's kind of, you know what it reminds me of? It's like there's lots of different kinds of hounds, right?
Yeah.
And like retrievers, but it's like if you find a Weimar or a Labrador that has a weak head, so it doesn't have like a really good Labrador kind of has some a little bit of boxiness to the head, not a whole lot, but a little bit, especially to the the dome, right, the skull. If you were to find a lab that had a weak head, right, and a really long kind of muzzle and all that stuff, you wouldn't say, well, that dog looks like a Weimaraner. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if it was one of those blue, like those silver labs or whatever, but that's because it has Weimaraner in it. But you don't go searching around for like other breeds to call it. It would just be a not very well-bred Labrador, or maybe that it's not well bred.
I hope they don't think I'm videoing him. Sorry.
What? But it's not very like. It's not. It just doesn't have a typical head for the Labrador. You know what I mean? So there's lots of breeds that don't have the perfect head, that you would find on like those sporting magazines. Like I grew up with those hunting magazines where they have like the perfect painting of the Labrador, and so you wouldn't say, whatever, but the Corso unfortunately gets that. People, and I think it's because the breed is not as refined at this point. They have not been bred to be, to have the same phenotype for a long enough period. We're in even though we're not technically in a genetic recovery, we are in a phenotype recovery. And so...
Somebody said Blondie is there forever, so unlikely. It's not true. Blondie
what?
is... Somebody said Blondie is there forever, so unlikely. No, Blondie will be here forever.
Yeah, that's just a negative Nancy. And what I do with people like that is I block them. Because if somebody thinks that, then clearly they just don't like us. If you think that we're just going to get rid of Blondie, then you're clearly not a fan. You're just a negative person.
Blondie's my dog.
You probably need some therapy. Because I don't lie about things that I say. Like if I say something, that's what it is. And so, people don't know how hard it is for me to place out my dogs. Like, it's like so hard.
Mama cries.
Not only do I cry, but like, most of my breeder friends, like my mentors and stuff, tell me that I hold on to way too many dogs. I hold on to them for too long. I try to keep, dogs that I probably shouldn't keep. My mentors told me one dog. You get one dog. All the rest of them come and go for your breeding program. If you want to make progress, you have to be willing to move dogs in and out so that you can continue to grow your program. I don't do that. You know what I mean? I have multiple dogs that stay. All my males stay. If a male didn't produce, obviously he would have to go. But for the most part, I keep a lot of dogs that, like I said, my mentors don't. But I understand that a lot of people that watch my channel are pet people, and they're just not familiar with that. And then there's just the negative people that just want to believe the worst in people. So, which, like I said, for me, it is what it is. I don't care if you believe me or not. It's not going to change the reality. That's like people saying, there used to be people that would say that I would never show my dogs. She says that, but she'll never do it. She'll never do it.
Look at Nirvana.
You know what I would really love? If people had to pay me when they were wrong about things about me. Like, be like, okay, bet 5, bet 10. You know what I'm saying? Right, because it's just one of those things. But ultimately, that person probably had people that let them down in their life repeatedly. And they just think that everybody's going to let people down and everybody's going to lie, yada, 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 and they take that out on other people. Because I have no reason to lie about it. Like, I'm looking for excuses to keep my dogs forever. Because all my friends look at me like I'm crazy for keeping so many dogs. And they sit there and tell me, what you gonna do with all them dogs, Rachel? What you gonna do with all them dogs in your house? Well, I don't know. I'll keep them. I'll have them. I'll love them. They think I'm crazy. your program forward when you're taking care of all these dogs, when you don't have the space for all these dogs. Well, oh well. I move enough of them forward to be able to make progress.
So I said you weren't crazy.
But I have to keep some of them. I'm not, it's like, I was sitting there thinking about it the other day. I was like, if somebody offered me a ton of money because a really good friend of mine, one of my mentors, really good mentor of mine, she was very attached to this male dog that she had. And somebody wanted to buy the male dog for $27,000. And she really needed that money. You know what I mean? And she sold the dog and was able to build her breeding program off of it. You know what I mean? She was able to build a kennel, all this stuff. And it was really life-changing for her kennel, and it helped her grow. And I thought to myself, like, if somebody offered me $27,000 for Preacher, would I do it? You know, would I do it? Because I could build a kennel with that.
Literally, somebody asked her,
and I thought to myself, you know, would I do it? And what I realized was, is there's no way I would do it, because it wouldn't be any fun anymore. It would just be a job. And for me, it isn't just a job. It's my passion. I love my dogs.
No hate to anybody who does.
Yeah, and no hate to anybody who does. Yeah, like I said, for me, I'm in it for different reasons. The breeding part of it and all that stuff is kind of like a close second. But the real reason is just because I freaking love dogs, and doing this allows me to have a ton of them, and not be like a hoarder. You know what I mean? But I do. And not only that, but I get the best of them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fan of really nice, superb dogs, and I get the best dogs. You know, I get to keep back the best dogs. Oh my Lord. I guarantee you somebody's laying on her. Yeah. Somebody's probably on her cone. And so anyway, so that's for me. That's the joy for me is you know, being able to really you know, just get to have, you know, what I want, I guess. It's kind of like if you were into classic cars, right? You were like a classic car trader. And it's like the only reason you really do is because you love classic cars, but your wife's going to get mad at you because you're wasting, you know, it's like expensive. And so what you do is you kind of trade them, but you always have the really special ones that you keep back for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just that you like selling classic cars, you love classic cars, but you kind of need an excuse to do it, you know, and you're good at it. Maybe you're really knowledgeable about them or whatever, but you always make sure to keep the best for yourself. That's what breeding is for me. It's like, you know, I like to keep the best for myself.
Wow, there's an extinct human species.
Girl, get off my phone. Maybe seriously, quit being don't do that. That's not nice.
You didn't see the photo?
Do you know how many extinct species of human there are, Savannah? A lot.
Did you see that?
No, I did not. There is lots, Savannah.
Yes, but it was talking about
There are a lot of paths of human development that did not succeed. Yep, looks good. That did not succeed, Savannah. The Neanderthal being one of them. Lots of them.
Why did we?
Gross, Savannah, gross.
Why did we?
I don't know. You'd have to ask someone who knows more about
Why are we thriving?
that aspect of human development, because I don't know. I just know that I've read enough about different species of hominids to know that we were not the only ones.
One of them was basically dwarfs?
Yep, there's a dwarf ones, yeah.
Wow! That's so cool. Man.
Yep. And a lot of us even have the DNA of those extinct species of hominids in our DNA. That person has no headlights on, or maybe they do, and I just
Rachel, have you ever thought of creating a dog breed? No.
I did actually.
Really?
Oh yeah. I don't think, I mean, maybe other breeders haven't, but I think it's natural for a breeder to think about that. Personally, I think it is. But your ADHD is like on point tonight. But the reason why I didn't or haven't is because there's too many people doing it, and I would see it as irresponsible at this point, because there's really no reason for anybody to prioritize one like there's a bunch of people breeding Mastiff mixes, you know what I mean, especially Merle ones, and they're all trying to name it their name. Same thing with Old English Bulldog. Like, I know that there's a person on YouTube that breeds like these, like an old version of a bulldog, but the truth is there's multiple versions of that already.
We don't have 15 dogs in our program.
Yeah, we don't have 15 dogs.
They said 14 Corsos.
Yeah, we don't. There's the Old English Bulldog. There's one, I can't remember the other one. It's some guy's name. There's that version of them. There's the Bulldog itself. And then there's now apparently the Renaissance Bulldog. So I just don't like, it's all the same dog. It's all the same concept. Maybe not the same dog, but it's all the same concept. And I don't see how you prioritize one over the other. And it just, to me, is slightly, and I'm not saying this about those breeders, I'm saying for me, I see it as, irresponsible. That's just me personally. Because, I think if you want to do that, if you want to fix a breed like that, then, like the Old English Bulldog is that concept, so stick with that, and then just breed better versions of that, or what that other guy has. Like I said, there's a guy who was breeding bulldogs like that, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of them right now. But I think the reason why a lot of people don't like those ones is because I think in the standard it says they're not allowed to be blue, or they took out a lot of those like designer colors like that. And so the Old English Bulldog has all those colors, but I find it interesting that they all end up being just like the problems of the English Bulldog. Maybe not the Renaissance, I don't know about that. That's a more recent endeavor. But I do know that the Old English Bulldog is supposed to be a healthier bulldog, and dating, like, it's supposed to be more like the original Bulldog, but very few people's programs resemble that. Over time, they're developing the same issues as the original Bulldog, which is interesting to me.
Do you have a skincare routine?
No. Wash my face. If I get breakouts, I use calamine lotion. Savannah could attest to that. I stick it on at night. Right. I sleep with it on. And if I have, like, because I break out around my chin, like blackheads and stuff like that, and I get just really oily down there. So when that happens, I'll do like a couple days of putting calamine lotion on my face at night, and until it clears up, and it works so good. Like, it's like so perfect. Calamine lotion is like the best for acne.
Rachel, what dogs sleep with you and you, Savannah?
So Velocity will sleep with her.
Blondie, sometimes Blondie wants to sleep with Mom.
So yeah, Blondie sleeps with me a lot. Preacher sleeps with me. Batista sleeps with me.
Right now, Trinity.
Yeah, I always have my pregnant females out, so they always sleep with me. The only dogs I don't really have out are dogs that are not good sleepers. So, like, for example, Vitani, Valak, Matt Mortigan, if you have them out at night, they stay up at night and they get into stuff and they get into trouble. Belladonna is another one. She gets into trouble all night, so she can't be out at night.
Batista used to be like that.
Yeah, but sometimes it's so bad. Like, I have so many dogs in my room that it literally gets hot in my room compared to the rest of the, like, I have to have my room door open, and have the ceiling fan in the living room on high to help circulate the air.
And she sleeps with a fan on her.
And I have a fan on me, and it's pretty ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie.
So said you must have a king size bed, do you?
No, I have a queen now. I had a king, but my room's not big enough for a king anymore. But it is pretty freaking ridiculous. Sometimes I almost get pushed off my own bed by my dogs.
Yeah, they will push you and stuff like that. If I fall asleep on mom's bed, say we're watching a movie in her room and I fall asleep on there, Blondie will come in between us.
Yeah, Blondie will always sleep right in between us.
She's just like, let me come up between you two, lick you while you sleep, push my feet on you.
Yeah.
And sometimes she'll even lay on you if you decide not to
Preacher's
move.
always up right by my head. He always curls up on my head.
Good luck moving the blankets.
Batista's a jerk. He'll sleep like on the blankets in the middle, and he takes up a lot of room because he's a big old dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like I love my dogs, so it would be very hard for me. Even whenever I was dating before my ex, we still had a dog.
Not Alex.
Yeah, we still had a dog in the bed.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about that one guy that said you couldn't have dogs.
Oh, Preacher.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy that said you couldn't get Preacher.
No, like we hardly dated. That was like such a blip.
Blip.
A little bloop.
Blip.
A little bloop.
And didn't Cashmere and Terrible also sleep with you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Terrible was a cuddler. He used to do this thing where he would sleep on your feet. And that's how I found out Cashmere didn't like feet. Is because I would always put my feet underneath Terrible.
Yeah, Cashmere was like so funny. You'd be sleeping with her, and then you get to moving your feet, and she gets so offended.
And she'd move.
So offended, so angry.
She'd go as far as to get off of the bed or off the couch.
She'd give you a dirty look and jump down.
Like, you disgust me with your feet.
Yeah.
You with scum. And she's like the queen. You put your feet on the queen, and they'll look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not the behavior of somebody that doesn't really love their dogs. Like, if I wasn't in it for the right reasons, all my dogs I would have an outside kennel. All my dogs would be put up, all the time. They would all be in kennels, and I would be out partying, doing whatever the heck I want to do with my life, just profiting off the dogs. There are people that do that, but you'll never know it. And that's the thing. That's what's funny is the people the breeders that live their lives like that, you will never know who they are because they will never show you their life, ever. They will never, ever, ever show you. I saw a breeder boast about the fact that he only had one Corso in his house, and he was boasting about the fact that the dog was lucky to even be in the house. And I'm like, for me, I'm like, why are you doing it if you don't even like your dog enough to have it in the house? You know what I'm saying? That's just me personally, though.
What's the opposite of a Karen?
So,
a Rachel.
What? I'm not the opposite of a Karen.
Yeah.
No.
What's the opposite of a Karen then?
An opposite of a Karen is a person that wouldn't say anything, wouldn't do. Like, a Karen is a person who sticks their nose in people's business and is negative and racist and all kinds of
No, that is
stuff.
a Karen. That's what a Karen is.
I know, and I'm saying the opposite of that would just be a person who doesn't care about anything. Which I don't think that's me. I care about stuff. I just don't care enough to be a Karen.
Oh, Sunshine, a Karen at Target. Sunshine, a Karen because she cares. I don't know.
Yeah.
They care a little bit too much.
Yeah.
They have no fun. They're party poopers.
Karen cares a lot.
She's a Care Bear.
Yeah.
Karen Care Bear.
Karen Care Bear stare.
She looks at you. Gonna call the manager. Manager! I need to talk to your manager, please.
Yeah. And my dogs have done enough damage to my house.
Why is everybody asking about Misha?
That if I wasn't in it for the right reasons, God knows I wouldn't have him in my house.
People are asking how's Misha.
She's fine.
Misha. She's fine. Let's see.
She's not a very deep dog as far as in the intelligence area.
Yeah.
As long as she gets some attention, she's happy.
Yeah. hyena, whammon, velociraptor, velocity. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Celine Dion. Who? Huh? What? How much longer of a drive do we have? It says on here, right?
Probably like an hour and a half.
I think it was an hour and a half last time. An hour and 11 minutes.
No, we are not 11 minutes away.
I said an hour and 11 minutes.
It's like, no, man.
In Florida. Okay.
What? They're in Florida right now?
Uh-huh. Which doesn't... How do you go from Georgia to...
Yeah, how do you go from Georgia to Florida? Should have went from Florida to Georgia. Ooh, buddy. They're hop, skipping, and jumping all over the place. Is that a different vehicle?
They're resting the night.
Is that a different vehicle?
I can't tell. I can't tell.
Yeah, we're looking at the pictures of Koa being transported.
See, people are asking how the pets are doing on the way to Reese.
No comment. I promised Reese that I would be nice.
Then resting for the night. So they're gonna rest in Florida.
Bro, how are you just gonna throw stuff at me?
I didn't throw anything at you. I'm sitting like this.
You used your Jedi mind tricks
Oh.
to throw things at me.
Currently in Florida, then resting for the night.
You know that I wanted to name Zoe Jedi mind trick, but she wouldn't let me.
Why? Just straight
She
up
said
Jedi
she thought
mind
it was
trick?
weird.
Who did?
She didn't know what a Jedi was.
Oh, Christina.
Yeah, she didn't know. Because it was supposed to be a J name. That's why her name is like Janis Joplin, which I'm really not a fan of, to be honest with you. I know everybody loves Janis Joplin, but for me personally,
Who is
it's
Janice?
like, you know, whatever. I don't listen to her music, that's for sure.
Janice.
But, and then she wanted to be like a rock star or whatever. So then she was like, what about Joan Jett? And I look up Joan Jett because I know who she is, but I want to know who a person is. And she's like a freaking card-carrying PETA supporter. And I was like, heck no, I will not name my dog after Joan Jett. And I was like, whatever, here, Janis Joplin. But I wanted to name her Jedi Mind Trick. Because I think that's cool. But no. She was like, no, I don't like it. And I was like, why not? It's super cool.
Mom's like literally a fan of Star Trek, though. So.
I am a fan of Star Trek, but I don't mind Star Wars. But I still thought it was an awesome name. Freaking Jedi. Rachel's, or Single Magnifica's Jedi Mind Trick. Ooh.
What are you doing?
I liked it. It's like a cool show name, man. She gonna get you with that Jedi Mind Trick.
Why couldn't you just name her Zoe? Because it had to be a J
Her name
name.
is Zoe. It's different. The show name is not the same thing as a call name. Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying, bro?
Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying, bro? Know what I'm saying? What do you guys do for Thanksgiving?
Dude, my back. I need a better heat warmer than this. These seat warmers are like okay, but I need like the heat.
Now my hand's all shaky. What the heck, bro?
I need like hellfire in my back. Get old.
I will hurt you with the flames of hell.
Yeah. I will hunt you with the flames of hell.
Okay.
Alright, buddy.
Okay. Kiddo.
Lay off the Jesus juice, boy.
Anyway.
Oh, look at him. He's got his arm out. He
got his cigarette out.
He's a strong man. Oh, see these people?
They're crazy.
Texas drivers, man, I'm telling you.
I hope he doesn't
It'd be
think
like
of
Mad Max out here, man. People out here with bazookas and stuff. Boom!
Name a female Nyota? Huh?
No.
What does that mean? What is
But
Nyota?
I am going to be looking for a particularly special name for this boy that we're keeping back off of Blondie
I love
and
him.
Batista. He's
so cute.
really nice.
And he's really sweet.
Really super nice dog. Couldn't pass him up.
We're not in Dallas anymore either, you guys. They said
We were not in Dallas.
They said, lol, they drive insane in Dallas.
Yeah, we were in Houston, which they drive worse in Houston than they do Dallas. They'll practically try to run you off the road.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut you off.
And they won't let you get by.
They have like no empathy at all. It's like you don't even matter as a human being. Like they're just, it's like...
Oh, she's in Star Trek. Nyota is in Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. But I still don't like the name.
I like Nyota.
I don't even know who that Nyota is, and I watch Star Trek.
Nyota is
It's probably
her.
off like one of the new generations. Oh, no, she's not. What? No, that's... Well, that's the name I know her as.
O'Hara?
Uhara. Yeah. I don't remember.
Learn how to do this.
In the best Spock, too. Yeah, it took her forever to learn how to do that.
I don't know what that means. I'm not gonna do that. I don't know if I just did some like race.
I like the old... It's not racist.
This? No, I'm talking about this.
I don't know what
I don't know what this means, but I'm not gonna risk it.
Oh my god. She's like, I don't want to use my hands because it might be something racist. It would be more like a gang related thing if it was anything.
I ain't in the gang. Don't worry, you guys.
And we about that two.
That
you know what I'm
two.
saying? That two. Stay at a two. Ward 2. You know what I'm saying?
Ward
two.
two.
Ward. Yeah.
No, I think this is like something to do with like
Be like, this is peace. Because you see the openness here, we're open. But it ain't about peace, it's closed. There won't be no peace here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't open-minded. We closed.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's what that is.
What? Yeah, that's
I
not even
thought
that. That was a joke. That
Oh,
was
was
literally
it?
that was a troll started on, I believe, 4chan to get people to like think that. And so they were like, let's pretend this and that, and then people actually fell for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of like when you're a kid and you want to prank old people, and so you like pretend that something is what it is, and then they actually believe
I
it.
remember.
And then it like,
okay.
and then it like takes on a life of its own. That's what that was.
I know what this means. This means this is like
The only like symbol that ever like was anything was like the triangle thing. That was like the Illuminati thing.
Oh yeah, everybody remembers like the Illuminati. Or no, I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
What about Genghis
But people
Khan?
have been doing the okie dokie sign ever since I was a child. And in fact,
I remember.
back whenever I was a teenager and stuff, that's how you would get people. You would like try to trick people into looking.
I know, you'd go, got him. You put it below your hip.
You would like put it somewhere.
Yeah, and then if they
looked
see
at
it,
it,
you got
you're like,
smack
got
them on the
him.
neck.
Yeah.
You smack them on the neck.
It's a sign for racism.
No, we used to do that in middle school. We used to smack each other on the neck if you looked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And we would like send we would like send pictures of each other, like, got you. If you open up the picture, I had an ex that I would do that with.
Really?
Because like back then I was like into that kind of stuff, like being funny or whatever, like trolling each other. And so you would just sit there with it on your knee or whatever, and wait for people to look. Got them. And then you send a picture. You take a picture of it and send it. See, and that's another troll right there. The whole peace sign thing, saying that's another troll. To see if they can get people to hate that too.
I don't know. This doesn't mean anything. I do know that Walt Disney, or whatever his name was, used to point with 2 fingers. I don't even remember why. But he used to point with 2 fingers.
1 finger ain't enough, apparently.
No, apparently not. But apparently, he did some pretty messed up things.
Let's keep it positive.
Yeah.
Let's keep it positive.
Two fingers in British language means that you do not like them. I don't like you. Because one finger is rude. Oh, one finger is rude. Two fingers is like,
Not so rude.
if you do the Itachi thingy or whatever, you go like this and you hit them on the forehead. You go,
Nope.
He goes, you dummy.
Why do I feel like it would be like shooting? I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you. Pachoo. Pachoo, pachoo, pachoo. Only thing I remember as a kid that you didn't do was I guess overseas or whatever. You wouldn't do this. You would never do that.
No, I know, because it means F you.
Yeah, you never do that.
I remember at school, we used to do that to each other.
As a kid, I always wanted to do it. Like, I don't know why, but I was like, I don't, like, in my mind, I thought, oh God, I'll have to try really hard not to do that. Because when somebody tells you not to do something, it's like, oh God. Like, for somebody like me, it was like, oh, I really want to do it now. And I used to think to myself, like, am I going to be able to make sure I don't do that? And then, obviously, I never went to Europe, and now
we used to do it at
whatever.
school. We used to do it at school to each other. We used to go, hey.
Yeah.
That's what we used to do.
And then there was the other one like this. You go.
I don't
Like
remember
that
that. What
one.
is that? What does it mean?
I think it's the same thing.
Hmm.
It might be. It might be. It might be like sign language, possibly.
Let me see. Sign language for. Jesus. I love how they consider that like a not spelled right word.
You cannot be getting in my way and hitting your brakes like that, bruh.
Oh, I know what the word bull is. You're supposed to do like a bullhead.
I don't know that. I don't know where it comes from, but I know it's a thing. I knew.
Apparently, that's sign language for it.
I knew all the things.
Did you choose Nirvana's show name? Nirvana's show name is Nirvana, right?
Yep. I wasn't really like familiar with the idea of show names whenever I named Nirvana. So.
Can you
Yeah.
swear and sing sign language? Yes, we're talking about swearing. Janis Joplin.
No. The only song that I liked of hers was Dear Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? That's the only one I know. In fact, I think those are the only lyrics that I know.
Dude, these murder hornets are crazy.
My back. It's not hot enough. My Chevy, dude, I will tell you that. My Chevy,
Oh, by the way, they want
it was so good. It would burn it up.
they want the story, the paranormal.
My ghost story. Oh my god. I'm so mad at my friend for not doing it with me. He didn't want to. He's a very closed off person. I don't know why, but like sometimes I don't understand why people care so much about YouTube as far as like being on like video or whatever. But ooh, look at that. That's massively undercover. Dang.
What do you mean undercover?
That was a freaking like a brand new Mustang with regular rims and all that stuff. That's like a dirty undercover right there, man. Dirty. So
Microsoft, please do not blow vape smoke into your Xbox Series X.
So, whatever. I'll tell you guys.
Okay, let's listen.
Even though I don't want to, because it's... First, I will preface this by saying that I don't blame you for not believing me, first of all. I probably would not have believed somebody who told me the story. But it is what it is. So I had this whole thing planned out, like how I was going to talk about this. But suffice to say that back in the day, I was really poor, and I lived in a really rundown, very old. It's hard to even call it an apartment. It was basically 3 separate buildings with four apartments in each one. So there's one above, one down, and then on the side, one above, one down, and then a courtyard in the middle. And it was so old that it had like the paint, like the window panes. So like every window had like the wooden things, like the wooden cross sections, and then each piece of glass was like an individual square. And so so the landlady, I was living in this one apartment. I was like a roommate in this one room, this one apartment or whatever. And she basically offered me a really good deal if I would clean out the apartment of a guy that had been arrested and was no longer living there. And so she basically told me she would give me like 3 months of free rent to live in this, to clean this place out and get rid of all the stuff. And so, which is really, really good deal. And this is like in downtown. It was like off, I think I remember it was like 25th and San Gabriel in Austin, something like that.
Is it
like
taken down now?
Yeah. It was like in downtown, like where all the frat houses and stuff like that was for UT. And
what year was it?
I don't remember.
Like early 2000s or before, like in the 1900s?
Before you were born.
Yeah, I know that. I was
So
in
it was probably like maybe 2001, 2001, maybe even 2002, something like that. I don't remember, but it was in that range. And so I think it was like 25th and a half or 23rd and a half, something like that, San Gabriel. So anyway, so I go and I'm cleaning it out, and it's basically the guy that was living in there was like a Satanist. He had all these pentagrams and just a whole bunch of like skull candles, and everything was dark and black curtains and all this stuff. And there were some pictures of some very illegal stuff going on. I think the guy went to prison because he was having inappropriate relations with children. And so I'm cleaning all this stuff out. The refrigerator was, oh my God, disgusting. The dishes in the sink, like there was just months of dishes that had been left in water, like dirty water. And as I'm cleaning all this stuff out, I'm bringing it out into the courtyard area, and I felt like I was being watched. But at the time, it was kind of eerie, but I didn't really think much of it because it was a courtyard.
Did you have help?
So there very well could have been people that were watching from upstairs. It was a really rundown place. There were kind of weird people there. The kind of people that you never really see, you know what I mean? Like they're neighbors, but you never see them. Nobody ever talks. And so, and all the windows look in on the courtyard area. So I figured maybe somebody was watching me clean it out. But I had the distinct feeling that I was being watched. And so I get it all cleaned out. I get everything cleaned out. And it had this, when I was in there, it had this horrible smell, this very old, like an abandoned building smell to it. and like old abandoned building smell. It's just a very stale. It's a very specific smell, and so I'm. So I've moved it all out. I've actually made it look really nice. I brought in furniture or whatever. I brought in all this stuff, and it looked really nice. And I was dating this guy. Ended up dating this guy named Shane, and we had some company over that night. We were all kind of sitting in the living room, and then they had left, and he was sitting in the living room playing his PlayStation because he was really big on video games, particularly that. Anyway, I don't remember the name of it. It was really huge back then, really huge. Whichever one has the character named Cloud.
Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy, yes. So he's playing that game, which I used to like to watch him play. And, isn't that a weird sound?
That wasn't me.
Okay. So anyway, so I get this, I'm in this, what they call like an old school fainting couch, right? It was really cool. It was like a gold, like velvet, it was like an antique type fainting couch that I got from somebody. And so I'm sitting on this thing, and I feel like somebody's staring at me. Like, it wasn't even like I felt it. I felt it to the point where I just turned and I looked, because we had company over, and in my mind, you know, they were still there. But I looked and they were gone. Obviously they were gone. They had left. And and when I turned my head, this is gonna sound so crazy, I knew that somebody was in my face, like right in my face. But there was no one there. But everything in my body was telling me someone is in your face. And it was like I could feel how it was, which I know makes absolutely no sense. And it was like a devilish grin is all I can say. And I couldn't see anything. I saw nothing. It's not like I saw anything. I didn't see anything, but I saw it in my mind, which I know sounds crazy, and you're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but I did. And I just knew that this thing was in my face, kind of like if the Joker was in your face, that kind of smile, that very, like, not even mischievous, because mischievous, there's a certain amount of innocence in mischievous. It was like a...
She said that there was, like, no good in
it. Yeah, like, it was just... I can't explain it. And so, and I was so terrified that I was scared to look away.
They said
because
sinister.
It was like, yes, sinister, but it was right in my face. And so I was scared to turn. I was scared to move. And, but there was nothing there. And so there's like this weird mix-up between your brain and your body where it's like there's nothing there, but your body is telling you that there's something there. Not only was my body telling me there's something there, everything in me was saying run, go, move, something. You know what I mean? Like probably the way that a deer feels when it knows that it's being watched by a cougar somehow. And so very slowly I turn my head and I'm like watching, trying to pretend like everything's okay, and I'm watching my boyfriend play this game. Not very long, I'm just kind of watching. And the air in the room is starting to get like thick, and my heart is beating and I'm terrified. And I'm like, okay. And so I tell Shane, I'm like, I told him exactly what happened. I looked I saw somebody was looking at me. I looked over to the side, but nobody was there. And then I told him, I said, I'm scared. And the minute that I said, I'm scared, something happened. Now, in my mind, I felt like something jumped through me. And not as in like I felt like something literally like as if something crawled in me. No, it was like this feeling like getting hit by something all over. And the feeling of it is like when you're trying to go to sleep and you feel like you are falling, like that feeling when you feel like you're falling. It was like that in combination with the worst possible fear you could ever feel.
in the moment, like the absolute worst possible fear you could ever feel, your face immediately goes to a frown.
They said, did you feel cold?
You immediately start crying.
Despair.
Not even like crying, like ugh, like it just you just tears come down, and it feels like you could die of fear.
So
like
despair.
I don't know, despair. I don't know if that's despair or not. It was just the most intense feeling of fear and like.
Were you cold?
No, and it was like if you've ever heard about like the whole like ghost, like scary to death thing, I understood in that moment what people meant by that. How you could be. If you had a heart problem, you absolutely could have died. And then Shane, who had been sitting on the couch minding his own business, jumped up and ran to the corner of the room, and he's got eyes are bloodshot red, right? Tears coming down his face. And we're not crying. It happens. Tears come down. It's not like you're like, oh my God. It's not like that. It just tears come down. And he jumps up and he's like, what was that? What was that? And so both of us ran out. I was literally wearing his boxers in a t-shirt, and we both ran out. And there used to be this 24-hour coffee shop downtown in Austin called Mojo's, and it was a place where
Mojo's
but that's not the same.
Oh.
And there were all these it was like a kind of hippie spot, and people used to spray paint all over the walls there, and they always had like DJs. It was open 24/7. And all the weird kind of eclectic people would be there. And so there was this guy that we knew named Raven, and he proclaimed to be like knowledgeable about things like stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so
spiritually enlightened. Right.
So we went and we got him. It was walking distance. I literally walked in boxer shorts and a t-shirt, a white t-shirt, I remember. And so we go over and we get this guy, we bring him back over, and he goes inside the house. I don't know what happens. He comes back out and he leaves. Doesn't want anything to do with it. He leaves. And so
he doesn't even say anything.
Just left. And there was this couple, this like kind of hippie, like they were more like it's all different kinds of hippies, but these were like the hippie people. She had like they both had like kind of, yeah, like they had like both of them had like long blonde hair, and they came over, and so because everybody I think was just kind of interested in what was going on. And at the time I had this cat named Schism, and he was like a cat that just was kind of a neighborhood cat, but he took a liking to me. And this apartment thing was so dilapidated that like even some of the windows, like those little panes I told you about, were broken, so he could come in and out of the house as he pleased. And so we're in this house, and it's like you could feel keep in mind, I'm a Christian, okay? But I'm going to be referring to things that some people might think are not very Christian-like, but I'm being honest and I'm telling you the truth. Whether you believe it or not, I'm telling you the truth. And now you understand why I don't like people telling people, because it's so far-fetched. But anyway, so you couldn't see it in the way that you can see with your eyes.
Like a third eye?
But you could see in the way that almost like you see when you read a book, like in your mind. And it was right here in the middle. I swear to God, it was right here in the middle. And you could just like sense it. You could just sense, I don't know how to explain it. And it was running around the roof of this of the room. Like running around the rim of the room. And it was this angry, and the impression I got was like an angry, kind of like a goblin type thing. I don't know what it looked like, couldn't tell you. I just got the sense, and you could feel it. And the same way you could like feel when somebody's angry at you, you just know, there's like a feeling. And it was like in this rage. And it never any point did I ever think, like, I don't believe in like ghosts. I got the impression more like a demon. You know what I mean? I did not get the impression that this is just some lost soul, some human. No, nothing like that. And I was sitting on this fainting couch, and there were other people sitting in the room, and you knew where it was, because if it was on this side of you, the hair would raise on this side of you. You would get goosebumps on this side of you, and you could feel it. And my cat ran in. It was like right here, kind of behind me, because the fainting couch is like this. It's like lengthwise and then up, and so it was like right behind the little fainting couch there. And my cat ran up and literally hissed at it and pawed the air, and it moved away. I swear to God, put this on everything I love. My daughter, my dogs, all. I swear to God. And I guess the Egyptians are right. Whoever thought that cats have something to do with the underworld, that's why. And
I believe it.
And so it kind of really didn't do anything after that. I mean, it was there. You would hear things, but it didn't affect us again like that. It didn't do that thing that it did before again like that. I don't know how it did it. The reason I say it felt like it jumped through me was because it was my whole entire body. It was my chest. It was just everything. It was all of me was affected by this thing. And I guess that's why, to me, it felt like something jumped through me, because I couldn't understand how all of my being would be affected by it if that wasn't what happened. And the only other thing it did, we ended up letting those people move in with us. My boyfriend and I ended up, we stayed in the living room. We were just so scared, and we didn't have the money to move out, and so we ended up sleeping in the living room, and we gave them the bedroom, because it was a 1-bedroom apartment. And I was listening. I had this old, I used to like putting together radios, and I had this old Mitsubishi receiver. Had like tubes in it, and it was the type where you could hook up external speakers to it by putting the 2 wires in, and I had these old wooden Sony speakers, and it was the type that you had to manually turn it up and down with a big round dial. There was no remote, there was no button, anything like that. And we were sleeping on the couch, and it was like a futon, I think, so that both of us had room. And in the night, I remembered that there was, we were listening to this channel called 101X, which was like an alternative radio, it was like a rock alternative radio station. I think it's still around, I'm not sure. And there were and I knew the commercials. Like, there's a commercial for like in Austin for like Thundercloud subs, and it's like this very specific song. And what I kind of had noticed, I kind of woke up a little bit, and I noticed that all of the song, all the tunes, the beats and everything, the music was the same, but the words were not the same. But I was so tired that I kind of just like put it out of my head as like whatever. It's kind of almost like a dream. Kind of just ignored it. But when I woke up, it was still doing it. And so I woke up Shane, and I was like, hey, listen to that. So he's listening to it. I don't know what it sounded like. It didn't sound like it was in reverse or anything like that. It was just, I don't know what it was. And so we woke up we called the other people, we woke them up, and they came out, and we were all just kind of like marveling at this. Like, it was just so weird and strange. And for whatever reason, the guy that was in there told me, he was like, well, tell it to turn it up. And so I think we did, either he did or I don't remember. One of us said to turn it up, and it turned it up really loud. And I think I yelled, or somebody yelled, like, turn it off or something like that, and it completely turned off. And that's the only like other really super weird thing that happened. Other than that, we would just hear like little scratching sounds, like just little things that you knew it was still there. And I think now for my theory, I think that what it was is it was some, and then as I told people, this is what led back to me having faith again. Because the one part I left out is I called my mother at like 3:00 in the morning. My birth mother, many of you know that I was in foster care. I called my birth mother. My birth mother used to be like a Wiccan and all this. She's like done all kinds of stuff, right? And and I had remembered her talking about some stuff like in the witch world or whatever, things like that. And so I called her and I asked her, and she thought I was on drugs, and I swear to God, I was not on drugs. And told her the same thing, and she goes, and she's like really annoyed because I'm literally waking her up at 3 a.m. And she goes, Rachel, she goes, nothing can have power over you unless you allow it. And she goes, don't be afraid. And so I think that's where it changed. And so it went from fear to fascination in the end, of like, wow, what is this thing? And I think that wasn't what this thing wanted. You know what I mean? And I wonder, I've always theorized about it, like, why didn't it affect us earlier? Like, why, you know? And I've wondered, like, maybe it didn't have the energy to. Maybe in my mind, I think that these things, if I had to theorize about it, I think that these things feed off people's fear and negative energy. And so it probably didn't have the energy to affect me right on, because there'd been nobody living there. And so it kind of had to feed off of the energy in the house. And then it did that big shebang, got a bunch of fear off of us. But then as soon as we stopped being afraid of it, I think that's why it got mad, and it was doing that running around thing. And then after that, it just kind of just really stopped doing stuff. And other than just the little, stuff, and it never ever affected us again like that. We never got rid of it. We did sage the house. People said sage the house. We saged the house. Nothing happened. We prayed over it. Nothing happened. We put up crosses. Nothing happened. Nothing like that had any kind of effect, other than the fact that, like I said, it just didn't have that really scary negative effect on us. But I was raised in a super Christian home, in foster care, like to the point where all we were allowed to listen to was Christian radio, and
we didn't go trick-or-treating.
We didn't go trick-or-treating. Like, our church would do like these functions where we would, have Christian music on, and we would dance and stuff for people and like try to save them as they were walking by, like for Halloween. And I resented Christianity and God as a young adult. I rejected it, and I didn't believe. And after I had that experience, I began to question, because one thing I've always kind of recognized in life is that there tends to be balance. There's a predator for every prey. You know what I mean? There's balance. There's good and there's bad, and there's always, this like opposite. And I thought to myself, if that can be real, who am I to say that God can't be real? And I actually found my faith again. Quiet down.
That morning.
I actually found my faith again in that experience, because my Mortigan quit, because it was not at all. I'm telling you, it wasn't like a ghost. It wasn't an angry person or a lost soul. It was, in my opinion, some type of evil. And so that is my experience. I don't blame you for a second for not believing it, because, like I said, I'm a very kind of like, I need to kind of see things to believe in myself. So I have no judgment. If you think I'm absolutely out of my mind making it up, don't blame me at all. But that is what happened. I would take a lie detector test. I'd put that on everybody I love. That happened. And I was not under any kind of substance, nothing. It just happened. And I think that one thing, because I used to follow this guy, this like atheist guy on YouTube, and it's not who you think it is. And not because he was an atheist. He was kind of a funny guy, right? So I could watch him because he didn't always talk about that for other stuff. Because by then I had already found my faith, and I didn't care that he didn't believe, because I don't need people to believe in what I believe to be able to like them or identify, you know what I mean? Like the same comedy or whatever. But at one point he had kind of was like making fun of like people that have had like, you know, paranormal experiences, whatever. And I just commented and I was like, look, man, like it's not, it's like, it's, unless you've had that experience, it's easy to poke fun. It's easy to judge. It's easy to say it's not true, especially because it can't be quantified. You can't prove it. There's no science, there's no scientific equation for what I experienced. It is completely 100% unprovable. And yet it happened. And it's just one of those things that it just is what it is. Some things are true whether you believe them or not. And that just is what it is.
Colleen, I don't think that happened. So he said the feeling of walking through you is the spirit moves and wants you to know that they are there.
Yeah,
they said the spirit probably followed you from the apartment you cleaned.
Yeah, it did not follow me. I'm fine. And I haven't had any issues. And it wasn't a spirit. I'm telling you, man, it was not a spirit. It was not a spirit. No. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in... It's not... I don't believe in that.
Wow, that person just
Yeah,
said...
that's a crazy person. I just don't. That's not... I don't think that that's what it was.
How do you feel about, like, sleep paralysis?
Don't know anything about it.
Whenever they see, like, demons and stuff.
Don't know anything about it.
I think it's spiritual.
Can't comment on it. Don't know anything about it. All I can say is that all I know is what I experienced, and it was pure evil. And like I said, even though I couldn't really see it, you kind of could in like in your mind's eye in a way, and it was not human. It wasn't a person. It wasn't there. It just, that's all I can say. It just wasn't. And so,
We had something weird happen at our last house.
so anyway.
Something
yeah.
ran down our stairs. And that's it. Mom doesn't even know what that was, and I don't know what it was, because it wasn't that scary.
But anyway, there it is. Now people are probably gonna think I'm crazy,
No, they don't think you're crazy.
but it is what it is. So
I don't know.
So anyway, but yeah, but there it is. There you go. I did it. I said it for all of you. And take it or leave it.
So I said nobody thinks you're crazy.
Yeah, take it or leave it. But that's what I experienced.
Lucid dreaming and astral projection. I've heard about that.
So I try not to get onto like all that stuff. My mom used to have all these books on all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like she used to have these books on astral projection, and I read them and I tried to do that. You have to try to stay awake, and this stuff. I never, like I said, my mother was the type of woman to get mad at you for touching her crystals because your energy would get into her crystals. You know what I'm saying? Like I was raised in a home where that kind of stuff, whatever. But I never, ever, 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 ever experienced anything spiritual when I was in her house, or whenever all that stuff, or reading any of your books, or blah, 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 blah. And the funny thing is, as soon as I told her about an experience, which the only reason that I called her was because I had read one of her like witch books or whatever, and there was this thing in it called a wraith. And I thought that that was the closest thing to the definition of that was the closest thing to what I had experienced. And I thought maybe I thought she really like believed in that stuff. I don't think she really did. I think it was just something for her, because when I actually brought it up to her, she did not believe me.
Yeah, extreme anger. So, wrath.
Wrath. No, not
wrath. So how do you spell
I
wraith?
think it's like WRAITH. It was in her book. I don't know. She had this big book on like witch stuff back from whenever she was like Wiccan or whatever. She's done all kinds of stuff. She's just one of those kinds of women that like gets into all that stuff. I don't think she's into it now per se, but she had all the books on it back then. And anyway. Ooh, gross.
does it say?
Mm,
You're looking under images.
I know.
Well,
That's like terrifying to me.
yeah. Why don't you look under
I don't know
the
how
definition?
to spell it. Because there's a book, there's a
Here.
video game called Wrath of the Demon.
Let me see the. Dude, quit calling.
Dude, who keeps on calling mom? If you're on
Wrath
the line,
demon, dude. No, Savannah.
I don't know how to spell wraith.
I told you how to spell it.
I didn't listen.
Wraith. A ghost or ghost-like image of someone, especially one. No, that was not what it was. Used in reference to pale, thin, insubstantial person or thing. No, it wasn't. Wraith. Oh, they have one. They have a Rolls Royce called a Wraith. Oh,
Spooky.
isn't that special? A wraith is an undead creature whose name originated in Scottish folklore. Yeah. They're calling them souls of people who passed on, but I mean, I just didn't get that impression. And maybe I'm wrong. I could definitely be wrong, but that's not the impression that I got. Because, like I said, it wasn't. It didn't even. It just. I don't know. It didn't. I got the impression that it was like a demon. Anyway, let's change the subject.
Well, no, there is something about that, though. Despising light in all living things.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. It despised light in all living freaking things. Hell yeah. Nothing but pure,
It has no
unadulterated
visual.
hate.
It has no visual features.
Yeah, I can't see it.
A weak spot behind the ear to get to the victim's brain. Has the ability to make a person mentally unstable just by touching them. Let me touch you. I'll make you mentally unstable.
Yeah. I guess I understand now, after telling the story, why he didn't want to get on here and talk about it. I don't know. I just felt like if we did it together, maybe it wouldn't be so hard. I always, the one thing that I always was happy for is that I didn't go through it alone. Because when you go through something, it's easy to like question the reality of it. Like, did it happen the way you thought it did? You know what I mean? You begin to question yourself in the experience. But having somebody else that went through it with you, like, really helps you to know that you're not, that it happened, and it happened like you thought it did.
To all the people complaining about mom even like looking down at her phone, my mom's a very good driver. Because they're like, the wraith can wait, Rachel.
We're fine.
Mom is an extremely good driver. Not saying it's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's not a good thing to do.
I'm not saying, but all I'm saying is that mom is a very good driver.
I just looked for a second. Chill.
She's not like a, yeah.
I have so much like freeze-dried fruit in my food. For some
I
reason.
do believe that like spirits of people that passed away can say like goodbye to you. You know, like they will come and let you know that they're okay before leaving, to go wherever, you know. I do believe that. And even you said you experienced that with Terrible.
I had a dream.
Yeah, you had a dream. I think I had a dream, but I thought it was real. Where I woke up and I looked over and I saw him, and then I went back to bed.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, how to become a wraith? What?
All right. Anyway, let's change the subject. I don't like talking about it.
What's up,
Clearly.
everybody? Let's
Which
talk.
is why I really wasn't even going to be perfectly honest. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but people kept asking, so I was like, all right, whatever. I'll say it.
Come on, people. Let's talk about fun stuff.
I do miss my cat. It was such a good name for a cat.
What kind?
Schism.
Schism.
He was named after a Tool album.
I want to get another cat.
So I used to really like Tool back then. I still like Tool, but it's kind of dark now. For me now, like
I want to get another cat.
I'm not so dark and emo.
Yeah, I want to get a cat. Like another cat. Should we get another cat?
I have a cat.
Yeah, we have a cat.
No, we're not getting 2 cats.
Falcor.
Heck no. You're not. If you can have a cat in your room and you can clean out the litter box.
Heck yes.
But I am not cleaning out another litter box.
Heck yes, I'll have my own cat. Heck yes.
But I will say, some people have heard me say it before. Every house needs a cat. I will never live in a house without a cat now, like ever. I firmly believe in having cats in your house.
Elias Bell, I hope you get better. They said I want to jump off a bridge.
Dude, don't jump off a bridge. It's not worth it.
Just do some therapy. I will hug you. You get a hug. There you go. Now go to therapy. Feel better.
Never do something permanent for something that isn't permanent. I mean, you feel that way now, you won't feel that way tomorrow. So.
Anyways, that's enough negativity.
Yeah, seriously. Negative, no. Positive, yes. Subscribe to Spread Sectura Cane Corso
For puppies.
because Melina is going to be having puppies soon. Most likely tonight. We don't know. Her temperature dropped to 98 degrees yesterday. I'm shocked that she hasn't already gone into labor.
Reese thinks she lost the last of her
mucus plug.
Mhm.
Everybody cross your fingers or pray if you do that I get a solid black, huge, beautiful female.
Not that color and size matter more than structure or temperament, but yeah.
I want my own Melina, and that is what Melina is. Melina is a beautiful black female.
And everybody
All that
pray
stuff.
pray for Reese.
I will still take a brindle female. I'm just hoping for everything that I would like. And that's the difference. You can have a preference. Nothing wrong with having a preference, so long as you take the best quality dog.
Pray for Reese and the hellhound she will get.
Yep.
Because she will be taking first pick male
Oh
of a...
I told her, man. I said, "Ooh, good
Better
on
you. Better
I said,
you than
"You're-
me."
Yeah, better you than me, man. She's taking a Batista Melina male. Ooh, not me. Not me. Don't want no part of that. That's too much dog for me. No, no, no.
Melina is funny how she throws punches.
Yep, I love Melina. She's a beautiful dog.
And she is sweet. She's just tough.
Beautiful dog. Sweet, serious. She is a dog of dogs. You know what I mean? Really, she is. Very similar to Cashmere in the sense that she's just so confident, so alpha. You know what I mean? So intelligent, so sure of who she is. Just a really top-notch dog. And the cool thing is that Melina has
Is she a Mockingjay pup?
Yeah. Mockingjay was the superb male. Really big dog. You're not supposed to pick on size. I get that. But he was superb in almost every way. I think he could have had a better front. His head could have been a little better. But overall, especially for the time, he was a top-notch dog. And like I said, really big on to boot. And it's just one of those things where it's not very often that you get size and all those traits. There's so many boxes to check off for like the ideal dog, especially when you're dealing with a large breed dog, like with Nirvana, you know what I mean? And I'm having a brain fart now. Suki. Both of them were the second to smallest females in their litters. And they just happened to have the best structure. And so I had to go with the best structure, even though they weren't the biggest dogs in the litter. And I mean by a long shot, they weren't the biggest. But it's just kind of one of those things where sometimes you don't get everything that you want in one dog. And I got lucky with Suki that she's the color that I like. But her head it's not horrible, but her head is not her strongest point. Her head is not what I'm striving to breed. But you know, it is what it is. And I'll work towards fixing that in her next generation. But anyway, but But like I got really lucky with this blondie breeding. This male that we've got here, he has a head, he has body, he's got structure, and he's the biggest male in the litter. So, you know, that's really cool. Hopefully his health testing works out and he's as good as his sister. And, you know, and his father has really great health testing. So hopefully that, you know, that all pans out. But I got really lucky with him. And, you know, hopefully he'll be similar in size to Koa. Hopefully. And that would be really cool to have a dog that big but have structure like Nirvana, because even Koa doesn't have as good of structure as Nirvana, but this male does. This male is very reminiscent of Nirvana. He has good length of body, he has good forechest, he has a good upper arm, he has good rear angulation, he has a good head, he has good bone, a really good top line, very good croup. He has great feet, great pasterns. If I had to say anything that was actually like not ideal about him, I mean, his head could be a little better. It's not bad. He has a good head, but there's actually like one correct Corso head. There's a lot of Corso out there that look like Corso in the sense that we know that they are Corso, but they don't actually have the correct head, which is like a head like Bazir. But he has the aspects of the head he should. So his muzzle is not too long. His muzzle is wide. He doesn't have, you know, an abundance of roundness to his head. So there are aspects of his head that are really good. It's just not quite like Bazir. But you know, it's not a bad head. It's not an ugly head. It's not a faulty head. It's just not quite. It would be very hard, honestly, to even. You really have to know your stuff to be able to look at him as an adult and identify specifically what is wrong with his head to not make it Bazir. And I think that's like, even Reese and I have talked about that the Corso head is so hard to get right and to even understand how to get it right. There's just these very unique characteristics about it that you really have to understand, and
Wow.
it's just like we, you know, neither one of us even fully can quantify that yet. So anyway, but we are fixing to head through the dead zone out to my house. It's like really, really, really bad signal out here, so we're gonna have to end the stream. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I didn't freak everybody out or make you guys think that I'm an absolute nutcase with my little story, but you know, it is what it is. And I took a big risk telling you guys, but whatever. You know, people don't have to believe it. So anyway,
It is what it is.
yep, it is what it is. So hope y'all having a good night, and hopefully we can do our live stream tomorrow, but if not, we'll talk at you later. Bye.